Hello, I'm Seth with Plan to House. One of my favorite flashlight companies, WowTac, has sent me the A5 model. It's a new flashlight they've just come out with, and I like it. I've been working with WowTac now for a couple of years with their headlights and other flashlights like this, and I've been nothing but impressed with them ever since I've started using their products. So let's check out the A5 and see the kind of features it has. The light comes in this nice padded box. It has a few accessories that I like, 2 extra O-rings, an extra charging cover for the USB. It has a wrist strap that is detachable, the USB charging cord, instruction manual, and the light itself. Now you'll notice right off that the light is short but rather wide, so definitely a unique design from the other flashlights from WowTac. Let's dive into the features real quick and we will see what all we can get into here. This light has a single button for all of the features. On the other side it has a charging port, which is just flapped there for a USB micro. The access to the battery is from the top here. Let me show you that. Just unscrew. This is a 26650 battery. It's pretty big, 3.7 volt, 18.5 watt hours. And you can see the battery itself is pretty standard. So the charging of the unit is built into the top of the light here. Let's go ahead and plop that back in and screw this back together. That's where your extra O-rings would be if for some reason you break one of those. It has an IPX of 8, which means it's waterproof and dust proof. There is your LED with reflector there. And the back does not unscrew like some models that I've seen. Right here on the end is where your wrist strap would go. There's no buttons besides this one. Notice there's also no belt clip, so this one is primarily to be used with either the wrist strap or to just go in a pocket. Now, to turn on the unit, you just push once on the only button, and it's a little hard to see, but there is a blue light showing, which I'll show that to you here in the dark in a minute. If you hold down the light, you will cycle through the different high, medium, and low settings. If you turn it off by pushing once, it will remember the setting you were on last. To access the turbo mode, I just double click at any state and it will go into the highest turbo mode. Double clicking again gives strobe, and then back to turbo, or you can just turn it off. Now firefly, which is one of my favorite settings, is just a long press and then it'll come on there. So a quick rundown on the times and lumens here. Low is 30 lumens, 46 hours. Medium is 300 lumens, 10.2 hours. High, 1750 lumens, runs for 8 minutes, and then for 140. I'm guessing it drops back down to a lower setting there. Turbo, 3650 lumens, 3 minutes plus 130. Once again, I'm assuming it drops back down. And then Firefly, 37 days, and strobe, 180 minutes. Distance 234 meters and blah blah blah. We're going to check out the 1.5 meter drop test here in a moment. Okay, that's all well and good, but let's see how well this performs in the dark. So here we are on the first setting, the low setting, and this wall is only about 15 feet away. So you can see how bright that is. Off, on, let's scroll up to the next setting. So this camera is going to adjust for lighting really well, but you can see that's the next setting. So low, medium, high. Now let's go to turbo. Man, that's super bright. And then strobe. Okay, now firefly mode. Can you see anything? Well, let me just show you on my face here. So that is firefly mode. Definitely pretty dim, but if you were inside of a tent or just needed to be somewhere where you needed a little bit of light for a long time, Firefly is pretty awesome. Okay, let's step outside and see how well this performs in the outdoors. Now, like I said, this camera is awesome at turning low light into okay light. So it's actually pretty dark out here. Let's go ahead and turn this on. Find our button. Okay, so there is, let's see what setting we're on. Okay, there's low. Pretty good. There's medium. Let's see if I can focus here. Okay, how about high? There we go. Nice. Okay, and then let's go ahead and turn on turbo. Super bright. Yeah, that's definitely shining. I mean, look over there on the trees. It's shining a serious light over there. That's really impressive. So it's really dark back over here. Let's see, go back to low. Okay. Anyway, like I said, these little lights are quite impressive. I wanted to show you the button. As you can see, it has a blue tint to it, which is pretty cool. The light is an IPX8, so I'm going to turn this on and then make sure that the charging port is covered up and that the light is also tightened down. And just going to plop it in some water here. And we shouldn't see any issues with that turning off. That's pretty cool. No bubbles or anything, so I think we're safe here. So far, I'm just as impressed with this light as all of the other WowTac products. Now, they've actually asked me to perform this next test, and I always cringe whenever it happens, but the light has a 1.5 meter drop resistance, and so I'm here at about, I don't know, a little over 1, and so I'm just going to drop it on the floor and see what happens. So I'm not exactly sure how you would typically drop one of these lights, but oh man, I hate that test. So at about a 1.5 meter drop, still works just fine. This is the 5th model that I've used. I've pretty much used since the A1 all the way up. A1S I think was the 2nd one. Anyway, I've used a lot of the WowTac lights and they really are impressive. So if you want a quality light, then I have a link in the description down below and you can check these out for your own. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.